All right, well, we've been playing shop cleanup, and he's been busy as heck out here and slinging chips, so we're getting this lathe cleaned up. So anyway, this is his Acra. It's a 1440, and it is the electronic variable frequency drive right here. These are really sweet. I've actually never had the pleasure of running a lathe with the variable frequency. I've run mills,
yeah,
and they're really sweet. They're so quiet.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to do a job right here. He's got a piece of graphite chucked up in here. We're going to turn this into a plug. We'll talk about that in just a second. We've got a high-speed tool set up. We're also going to do some UHMW turning over here as well. But I wanted to show you this. So we're in high gear right now. Let's go ahead and turn it on. I mean, can you hear that running on video?
It's quiet.
It's quiet.
It really is. The headstock's really nice on this.
That's 700 RPM right there.
Yeah.
So there's your display. So here's your dial. Just so nice and smooth. That is a cool feature on a manual lathe. So when you're taking a nice face cut across something,
yeah,
you can increase your surface speed by just dialing that in right there.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
And mine I can't do that because it's gear change. But that is really nice though. So this is I believe it's a Taiwan. I think it's a Taiwan made machine. But
to be honest, I don't know if it's Taiwan or Chinese. I don't
sometimes
remember.
they're right here.
Plate on it.
I don't know. It's probably on the back. So anyway, it don't matter. So we're going to turn this piece of graphite. Let me come around here and show you what we're working on. Still got the stand. We're going to do some welding on this. So this guy right here, this is part of his Rockford open side shaper, and had a little bit of a little accident right there. You can see that it got broke. But this is what's crazy is when we were taking this thing apart, this is up inside the column, and this shaft comes from the top down, and there's no way to access this. And they didn't realize that this was captured in this thing, so they kept trying to pick this up, get this out of there, and it eventually cracked and broke right here. Okay, but there's no side access on the machine to get to this right here, so you basically have to come in from the very top of the column down and reach up under there where you can't even see that. So that's kind of a crazy deal right there.
And when I went through the main manual I have, there's no diagram of that at all.
Right.
So
yeah, I remember y'all looked at it and you said you could, so it should have, you thought it just slipped up out of there. Didn't know that it was captured in the bottom.
Right.
But all this is a bushing. So wasn't there a bronze bushing?
There's a bronze bushing. It's in the inside shop right now.
Okay, so all it is a support. There's not a lot of pressure on this piece right here. I think I had the camera up.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is go ahead and do a Braze repair on this. We're going to go ahead and machine a graphite plug to go in there, and then we'll put a little V on this and go in there and braze it back in. And I think the only thing we'll have to do after this is for an oil line right here, so this feeds oil to it while it's running. Yep. Or oil cup, I think is what it is. So that'll have to be re-drilled and tapped for the oil line. And we'll see once we get it brazed on there. We may have to set it up in the mill and do a line bore on it just to make it round.
Right.
But that's what we got going on. I actually brought my 16 XFC, the Eutectic brazing rods right here. These are the silver brazing rods. So this is what we'll use to braze that piece together right there.
Yeah, I think that's 1 7/8.
1 7/8.
I'm pretty sure it's 1 7/8. I have the bushing in there. I measured it. So.
Okay. All right, let's see if I can run Lance's lathe without crashing it. Although he's been giving me the crash course on running it.
They make them new every day. If you break this one, we'll get another one.
Okay. We got the Monarch in there. Just some simple turning, this graphite right here. Just have to get familiar with where the controls are at and how which way they work.
Take out 100.
2. That's 200 right there.
Oh yeah, it was 160.
Is that?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Is that telling you the exact diameter?
Yeah.
Okay. We're staring at the digital readout. We set a diameter, and we're just going to work down to our finished diameter. Sneak up on it with a micrometer anyway. This stuff cuts pretty easy, don't it?
Like butter.
Yeah. Let's take another
After you
two.
honed that, readjusted that tool bit and honed it.
Yeah, I ground and rehoned that tool there. We'll have to get the shop back over here and suck all this up. All right, this might be our finished cut on here. We're trying to fit it sort of like a metal to metal fit. So it's going to end up being probably just a very slight interference fit where we have to kind of persuade it to go in there just a bit. It's still interference.
Yeah, it's pretty significant too. I'm gonna run it in the other way and see. I don't think this thing is round. So.
It may not be.
Let's see there.
Oh, there it is, right there. Oh, look.
That's perfect.
That's a good
That's
fit right there.
perfect.
So it's got a little friction. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
So that's good. We're done.
We'll just leave it right there.
Yep.
And we're just going to leave this piece solid. He said there's no point in us taking it all apart. So we'll just.
I'm just going to leave it on there and take it out.
All right. All right. Well, that's done.
Yeah.
I guess that we'll go ahead and clean the lathe up now.
Yeah, I got some graphite to clean up.
Yep. All right, so I don't recall where exactly we were at on this repair earlier in the week, but we're finally getting to it. So I just wanted to recap it and kind of start it right here. So this is the piece, this is the housing that goes on Lance's Rockford 36-inch open-sided shaper. And all it is, it sits just like you see right here. You have a vertical shaft, which is this guy. Let me go ahead and grab it. And there's a bronze bushing that fits right there. And it sits in here just like that. Okay, it's just a support so that you can this is used to adjust the column correctly. The head doesn't adjust the height of the head.
It raises and lowers the cross arm assembly.
Right. So it goes up here. You got another set of gears up there.
Right.
Okay, so that's just the support out there. All right, and it unfortunately it got broken during the disassembly. So we're going to braze it back together. We've just been cleaning it up. Here's the other piece that goes on right there. So we're getting ready to braze it back together.
There's a shaft that goes through here with the corresponding bevel gear.
Right.
And that's essentially how we broke it. We thought the shaft came out the front, and we just leveraged it too much. And so
and I remember us touching on the way this is positioned in there. There's really no way to get to this, because this is how it comes apart. You take this collar off, and then the shaft will slip up through there.
Yeah, there's a hole in the top of the column that I couldn't find any diagrams for this.
Right.
And even with a light, this is in a space that you can't even see the bottom.
Yeah, there's sort of a cavity right here.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to access.
If you know it's there, you basically have to crawl in the top of the column basically and lean down with your arm with a spanner.
Yeah.
You'd have to know it.
But yeah, that's what I mean. You can't see it.
No,
you would have to be just working strictly off feel.
Yeah, we couldn't. And so
anyway, we're just going to go ahead and get it brazed. We machined this graphite bushing that we'll be putting in there to dam it up. But we're going to go ahead and start working on. We'll bevel both sides of that. We're going to bevel both sides of that. And because we'll have the dam in there, we're going to actually eliminate the entire crack, so that whenever we braze it up, your braze material will go all the way down to the graphite bushing, and it'll be filled up. So that's the plan. We'll bring you back when we're ready to braze it. We are going to be using the Eutectic Super 16 XFC brazing rods.
Like that. This is my favorite flap disc. That's the first one I've ever used it.
We got our fit up ready for the brazing here, so we're just showing you what we did. went ahead and lightly beveled both sides, so we've got the root completely open to the graphite bushing there on both sides. So here's the look at the bottom there. I think kind of hard to see right there, but so we've been getting it good and clean. So next phase is to start brazing it up. I think we're going to do we'll do a preheat. He's got the rosebud there. We'll try to get everything good and hot, switch it over to our welding tip, and start brazing it up. You ready?
Let's do it.
It's gonna take me a minute to get all this hot, babe. Well, it's not quite hot enough. I'm trying to get it. Sorry if I'm blocking your view there.
You don't worry about me. You just do your deal. You make you happy.
Finally getting it slow. You see it there? Yeah. Can you see it, babe?
Yep.
So I gotta get me another rod ready. spilled out a little bit on me there.
That's okay.
I think we're good there.
Come over here and hit the end of it. Get right down to this kind of tree. You know, see what I'm saying?
Get it up in there.
Yeah. Underneath there. Let it roll off. There you go. Come on. Yep. Okay. Go. Still a little toasty.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna keep her going.
Keep the heat in it.
Is that how you had that? So used to them the other way.
Which way did I thought I put it on there. Oh, I put it backwards. I put it backwards, yeah.
Come on. Stay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Here, do the other one. Run them all. Nothing on there? That's good, guys. That's good.
See that?
Yeah, that's going in like butter now, brother.
Oh, that's hot.
That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful.
See that, babe?
Of course I can.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to have that. A little too close.
Those thin gloves don't repel the heat. That's so good, I feel like I gotta pay you for that now.
I know there'll be a steak dinner sometime. What do you think?
You better not mess with that. It's not gonna get much better.
You think that's good right where it's at?
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Yeah, no.
You like it?
That's a pro job there, brother.
Okay. All right. Well, Lance said it's good. So.
Yeah, that second side was money.
All right. Well, I think we've got a good braze repair on that part, so we've got her wrapped up here in the welding blankets to try to help it cool down nice and slow. So we'll come back out here to this guy later on today and do some inspecting and see how it came out. Were you you happy with the
Yeah,
Braze
it's
job?
fantastic.
Yeah, once we got it, I underestimated the tip that we were using to begin with. It was actually a number 3. I thought it was a 5. And so he went ahead and swapped it out to a number 7 on his other torch there. And then that started allowing it to stay the heat, keep the heat in there that I needed it for it to flow properly. So
Yeah, you probably should just run. You could have run 2 torches. I probably should just run a rosebud on it to get it nice and dull, and then just backed off and let you hit it.
Yep. Yep, that would have worked well too, but we got her done. Here's a final update on the part for the Rockford that we did the Braze repair on. So this is set up here in Lance's Bridgeport. And he hasn't got it indicated yet, but he went ahead and he bored it after we brazed it. I believe he says it was 2.5 thousandths out of round, which was I was really pleased to hear that. And so he went ahead and set it up, bored it clean, and then was able to press the bushing back in there. But he's got to go back in here and center this up. That's what he's got his board head set up here for. And he's going to skin, what'd you say? You got to take about 2 thousandths out of it. Yeah, so he's got to take another 2 thousandths out of there because it kind of squeezed on him. But anyway, there's the finished job. The brazing looks good. It cleaned up nice. Trying to get in there and see if this thing will focus on you. You can see the filler right there all the way to the bottom of the crack. So there we go. This job is about done. This is a shaft that Lance has in his shop, belongs to one of his friends, goes on a piece of industrial equipment at Corduroy's, and they were complaining that it has a wobble, that it's running, it has a wobble. So he was going to inspect it and see if he can figure out what exactly is wrong with this shaft. And we've got it set up here, and I will pull you in for a tighter shot and show you what we have found. Just know that this was a bandsaw cut shaft. I believe it was turned, ground, and polished 1 11/16 shafting with the keyways cut. So we chucked it up close, got this end indicated to 0, went ahead and faced it, cut a center in the end. And then so we've got this end set up in the forejaw, and we've got it running within 2 or 3 tenths of 0 right there. So we'll run down the shaft and I'll show you what it is looking like. All right, we're right here by the forejaw. I apologize for any glare that you might be getting, but just watch the indicator right there. We'll rotate it around and you can see it's within just tenths of being to 0 right there at the forejaw. All right, let's come on down. So this is going to be a bearing. This is where one of the bearings are going to run right here. Watch the indicator. I mean, within 1/2 thousandths. Okay, that's not bad right there. 1/2 thousandths. Right here in the center, there's a collar that runs in here with set screws. I believe it's just a spacer. All right, nice and true. All right, let's come on down here a little bit further. This area there's nothing that runs on it. You can see it's nice and straight. All right, now watch this. As we come across, here's where the other bearing sits. See the indicator? Look at that. Let's come right up in here. See the indicator? Got some wear in there. That's your wobble right there. Come on down here a little further. Not too bad right in there. So this is your worst area, just right in here. So, and you can feel it with your finger that it's undersized. So you have got a worn bearing journal right in here. So if I come on down, I can't go all the way to the end with the indicator where it's at, but if I come down right there, notice the indicator, it is running nice and straight. So the shaft is not bent. It's not warped or bent. It's nice and straight. You just have a worn area right there. So we're going to set up his eutectic thermodyne metallizing gun, just like the one that I have, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a spray weld on this journal right here. I'm giving Lance a hand, and we've got his eutectic system hooked up, and we're actually doing it the proper way. Now, his came with the manifold kit. This is something that I need to get for mine. So we've got 2 bottles manifolded together, both acetylene and oxygen. We've got our flow meter hooked up here. And check it out. He's got the Teradyne torch right here. And we have just tested it out for the first time. and it is ready to go, ready to put to work. So
Safety guys, don't worry. We're gonna strap the bottles together. I promise.
yeah. Oh yeah, they're gonna be giving us a hard time about that.
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and strap this up. We literally just hooked it together and tested it, and it's working out really well. So we've got our shaft over here, and we're gonna get this guy spray welded right in here and fix that bearing journal. All right, you ready? Here we go. Okay, we're ready. Preheat it. Yeah. You can usually see that shiny metal start to come a little bit. Yeah. Don't want to get too hot. You just want to get it to at least 200. And I'll stop this. Yeah, stop it. Go ahead and adjust it over here. We'll go to our 6. Now we're getting ready to spray. This will be your bond coat. Go about 6 inches high. Wasn't all the way on with the module. Overlap your ends just a little bit. Lift off. Okay. I'm going to do one more. I don't like the way that looks there. Alright. Take it up there to 12. Now we'll do our building. Try to maintain about 6 to 8 inches away from your shaft. I go down and overlap the ends and then come back down. About 50 thousandths over. We're getting pretty close, but we want to do a little more than that. 111, 1 inch 740 maybe. Do one more tap. We got plenty on there now. I'll move it there. As soon as you know you're done, you go ahead and kill it right there with that shut-off valve.
Right.
And then we close up our tanks. We don't leave them on. And then I'll just go ahead and double check it just to make sure that I read that right, because sometimes when you pull these calipers off, you twist them and it opens them up some. So we're about a 16th over our finished size right now, right around 1 inch 750. So we're good to go. Now we got to just, I usually just take and slide that off, and then we're good to go. All right, let's see if we can get this build up turned down to size. I'm going to start with the end and try to knock those off.
Yeah.
Okay, get that out of the way. So come in here and touch off here.
You want a 0?
Yeah, go ahead and zero that for me. Yeah, I burned up the tool. We got the corner of it's burned up, so we're gonna touch this up before we come back and work on it again. That's cutting beautiful right there.
Yeah, I
See,
can hear it. We can hear it too.
see the
yeah.
curlicues?
Yep.
Maybe it'll maintain. We had, that was a burned up tool that had a big chip in it. We sharpened it up, and I think what happened is that there was a fracture in it that broke out of there when we started doing our cut on the first pass. That's looking pretty uniform there.
Yeah.
It's looking good. We're taking our finished cut right there. That should leave us about 1/1000 oversized, and we can take our emery and just dress it down, because once you hit those tool marks, those high spots, it knocks down pretty quick. And I'm not going to bring the tool back across it right here. We're just going to back out, and run it on down.
Let's get some emery.
Yep, we'll get some emery. I'll see where we're at with the micrometer here. And not quite 1/1000 over finished size right there.
Cool.
So you can see just how nice our repair is coming in right there. I've actually polished that, and we're dead on the size. 1 inch 687.5 is what we're finishing at. The rest of the shaft measures right around the same size there too. So we're going to go ahead and clean it up, the rest of it there, but we're just going to be using some of this, already used, wore out emery paper there, and it'll really kind of help polish this up, get some of the the rust contaminants off the surface there, and make it look a little bit nicer. All right, well, there's Lance's very first spray welding repair job in his shop.
It's actually the A-bomb teaching job. Yeah, so we're gonna get another shaft out of the barn, and and I'm gonna have my first go at it. So
yeah, I think Lance likes it, and I was trying to show him, how I do it, the techniques that I use on everything, setting the machine up, the build up, cooling it, and then of course turning it and finish it there. But that was a nice little shaft to repair right there. And as we had, well, I think I was discussing it online on the Instagram thing, is that people ask, why don't you just cut a new piece of shaft, mill the keyways, and send it out? That is a very good way to replace this shaft. If you have something like this is 1 11/16 turned, ground, and polished. If you had this on your shelf, maybe the lathe tied up, then absolutely cut it, mill the keys, and you'd be done with it. But if you don't have this piece of material in stock and you have to order it, but I've got my Eutectic spray welder over there, I can just set this thing up, fix this bearing fit. In a matter of 2 hours, it can be in and out of here and be done with it. And you're kind of saving cost on material and downtime. So it's just a valid way to repair something. But if you got a piece of shafting, then sure enough, cut them a new one and let it go, But we're over here at Lance's farm shop having a good time, and I'm showing him how to use his new spray welder. So anyway, your buddy Byron, I'm sorry, not Brian, Byron.
Yeah, Byron.
Over at Corduroy's, that's where this is going.
Yep.
He'll be happy to have this one back.
Sounds good.
All right.
Do you have the tanks on? Go for it.
masking. So Lance has been working on his very first spray weld with his pterodine torch. This is just a test piece. It's not for anything, but other than just training.
Yeah, I was trying to shoot for 2 inches, as if this was a journal. And,
Right.
And so I'm doing a final sanding here. And I'm gonna mic it, and we'll see where it's at.
Okay. Give it a mic and see a little
Nothing
bit.
like getting Professor A-Bomb in your shop teaching. It's pretty amazing, actually.
Just showing them what I know.
We'll keep you guys up informed on future schooling opportunities.
Absolutely.
So that side is 2/10 over. The middle is a 1/10 over, between 1 and 2/10 over.
Hold on. There we go. Yep.
And the left side is dead nuts on.
Awesome.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep. Not bad for your first.
First pterodine
Yep. That looks good.
spray weld.